So now that we got the elbow tip hammered out, pretty much as much as we're going to do it, we'll end up doing the final cleanup once it's all done. But so now we want to, because this is a wraparound elbow, we need to start stretching out the center parts here. So we start by, as usual, just kind of over soft wood. Yeah, we need to expand it on both ends. It's starting to come. Have to start someplace. And just by doing that, it's naturally starting to curve too. But yeah, before I go too far, I want to make sure I get the other one up to the same stage of stretching. Getting there. So we'll do this several times so we can really start stretching out the steel. Then I'm going to go to kind of like another saddle bar that we're going to do some extreme stretching here. And here, as usual, I have to always make custom tools for myself. I've made an extreme saddle bar. I call this my macaroni steak or macaroni bar. So it's for getting this extreme, reverse curves going on. So I've got my anvil in. And what we're going to do is, again, we want to stretch this out as much as we can. So it's kind of a slow process, but you just got to keep at it. I think I'll even push it in a little bit, same here. As usual, I want to get both to the same stage. Okay, let's see. Bend that in a little bit. keep flaring these out. Takes a while. Yes, slowly coming together. So once you stretch it for a while, it starts curling all the way around. It does basically what you want it to do, and it gets to the point where it's kicking back. So I'm going to have to just, it's normally be temporarily built, but we're going to actually rivet it together here. So we're going to mark it, because this is how it's going to be finished anyway. But we're going to rivet it together because from here on in, it's going to be easier to work on this if it's one piece, because then we can do more extreme stretching. So now that we have temporarily riveted them together like this, it becomes one piece, so it's easier to stretch more. So I'm working on a horn here, so I can stretch it over this, as well as punch it in here around the center crease here. So I'm going to sort of go back and forth and really try to stretch this out here. So yeah, you can see it's starting to get kind of an oval look to it, but eventually we're going to try to get pretty round. So you just got to do this process over and over and over again until it really comes over, and then we'll define that crease, that center crease, and then from there we'll just do cleanup. Because eventually what we're trying to get is a 90-degree angle here, at least. So. This is the point where we're trying to make definition here on the center crease. So I've just got a regular slave anvil here that we're using just to get a nice clean edge here. Go back and forth. Because we're still continuing to stretch the outside edge here to get it to a 90-degree. We've still got a ways to go, but we're getting more definition now, so that's what we're concentrating on. Okay, now we're at this stage where I stretched it, and yeah, and I just did kind of a basic cleanup because we're going to do the rolling here, complete that off, and then do roping, and then these will be pretty much ready for final cleanup. So that's what stage we're at. So we're gonna roll through here with the rolling machine. Probably make 2 passes. Got to do an initial pass here. Then I'm gonna link it up to the previous one I did before. Sort of merge it into it. Yeah, like that. So that's the first pass, but then I'm gonna make it deeper. So I'll do the first pass here too. It's a bit tougher because as you know, like when we keep hammering the steel, it work hardens, so it gets tougher and tougher, which makes these elbow cups really strong, which is good, but it gets more difficult to work with it the more you work harden it. Okay, so I'm going to do final roll through here, make it even. Almost done. There, so now they're ready. All right, so now that we've rolled these edges, they're ready to rope. And you know, usually it's best if someone holds it for you, but either way, just try to find a round end of an anvil, like this horn right here. This is perfect for it. And you just got to hit it one at a time and go all the way through. So I'm going to just start here. See as it goes through, and if there's any excess, I'm just going to be grinding it off when I finish this. You know, when we do final cleanup here. One of the benefits of making armor by hand is you can always adapt the situation, rather if it was a machine, you'd have to somehow modify a machine to do something, whereas if I'm versatile, I can go on different angles and things like that. Plus it's got that handmade look, which I like anyway. Just keep going through it. Okay, so now just have to do the other side, and like I said, we'll just grind off any excess to make it look more clean. So, yep. Alright, so I've got them all sort of give a basic cleanup, rolled and roped them, and I permanently riveted them together now. These are meant to be like sunken or kind of flush. That's how they're held together, but yeah, these are incredibly strong now. You can't move it at all. So now we're going to add the two articulated lames. So I've already pre-drilled one hole here on this side. and we're gonna put it through so I can mark the other sides. We'll have to do them kind of one at a time, and sometimes I give them little marks so that way I know won't get them mixed up. But yeah, what it is we want them to pop out as far as we can without popping out. I want to give it lots of articulation like that. So what I do is I usually just sort of pinch it as best I can, and then I mark the hole with a felt pen and go drill it out. So it's right there. So I'll just keep doing that until all 4 are done, and then we can do a final cleanup on this. Alright, I've been riveting these articulated lames on, as you can see, trying to get the most amount of movement I can. I'm down to the last one. It's that I always temporarily bolt it together. So I'm taking the last one out here. So yeah, I've marked it and drilled it. So here we go, the last brass rivet. Now, there's times where, you know, to get a project done, you need a bigger hammer, which happens to me all the time. And then there's times where you need a smaller hammer. That's where we're gonna to get in here, because this is kind of tight to get in here. So we need a smaller. We get this smaller sort of riveting hammer. I want this to articulate, so keeping it kind of long. Let's get a little more. Mushroom that head. Do it from both sides. Yep, got lots of movement. It comes almost flat. That's kind of a good sign. It comes flat and then it pops open like that. We want about 90 degrees, and we got that about. So, okay, we're done. Okay, so we're at a really good stage here now. We finished the elbow pieces, and we've already riveted on the articulated lames here. So now we're going to be going to probably the vambrace next, and even though it's a display piece, we're going to make it so it hinges open like this one. So just to make it a little more detailed, and then the rear brace as well. So yeah, as you can see, if we made these match, and yeah, they'll fit the arm well, and be functional as possible. So yeah, the next stage is to cut out some pieces for the vambrace. We'll work on that next.